Oh, look at that. I think it's working. Suppose we'll find out. Hey, how's it going, guys? Look at me, live again on a mobile device. Who would have ever thought this would happen? That's good to hear, Daniel. Not a fan of the motorcycles? Hey, Matt. Hey, Luffy. How is everyone on this wonderful Wednesday? This is just a big social gathering. How did all these people get in my room? It's on a mobile device. So YouTube doesn't let people go live anymore with fewer than 1,000 subs unless they're on a computer. So to do it on a mobile device, you need to have more than 1,000 subs. So I finally, I said hi, Sam. I wouldn't miss my big fudge. Got to get the fire pot hot again. I spent too much time futzing around trying to get the live stream working. Sam's just excited to have some entertainment while he's hand sanding. That's all right, Tommy. It's good to see you here. This won't be a long live stream. I'm sorting out a wireless extender to actually get Wi-Fi down to my Forge a bit better. I do have Wi-Fi here, but it's not quite strong enough to do live streams. So got a range extender coming because of my mate Adam, who is generously going to dig one out that should hopefully help. It's not too far a distance, and it's a pretty straight shot, but I'm on a large property, and the Forge is a long way from the house, probably for good reason. So, yeah, what I'm doing with this stream is basically just testing it, seeing if I can see what all of you lovely people are saying, which I can. So, hello. I'm just sort of letting you know that I have reached 1,000 subs. I can do live streaming again on mobile. And you will be seeing a lot more of it when I am set up with the range extender. Currently, I'm on mobile data, so I won't keep it running too long. Because in Australia, we don't get fancy unlimited mobile data and things like a lot of the Americans get. These little black flies that have come out all of a sudden towards the middle of summer, they drive me nuts. Yeah. It's a big forge. What if I'm standing close? Is the volume better now? I'm actually working on catching up on some orders, making more kiridashi, because they just keep selling. Also, some more hairpins. I do the made to order on my Etsy page. So, catching up with that. Hey, Roy's here! How you doing, Roy? I believe there's been a miscommunication, Roy. I can't help but think that your video about anvil ring was a response to my video about finding secondhand anvils. And I need to clarify a couple of things. I was really tired when I made that video, and I kept mistaking the word rebound and ring, as well as a few other things that just make no sense whatsoever. It's what I get for making videos tired, but I loved that you did your video for correction, because rebound is really great to have in an anvil. Not necessary, but great. Ring, nobody cares. It's more pleasant to listen to, I guess, if you listen to it all day. But yeah, now that I've batched out the kiridashi I need to do, which is annealing, and the hairpin that I need to do, I'm doing an interesting project for a commission that somebody's asked me to make a medieval style belt buckle that has a one of the verticals is a flint striker, and it folds around, and the pin that goes across and latches into your belt is actually a functional awl. So it's like a 3-in-1 tool. It's a belt buckle, an awl, and a flint striker. So I'm currently forging that out, and he's a medieval reenactor, so he wants it to look, sort of nice and rustic and that, which is strange. I don't know why so many people want rustic-looking forged work when they're medieval reenactors. Medieval blacksmiths were actually incredibly talented and did some beautiful work. So I don't know, but he's paying for it to be a specific way, so I'm going to make it a specific way. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the difference between an ASO sound and an anvil sound, like my Sawyer's anvil, lovely. My railroad track anvil, oh, it's so bad. It's just so bad. Oh, actually, Roy, while you're here, I don't know whether the camera will pick it up or not, but down there is still your house. And when people come to the forge, they actually, it's funny, I get visitors to the forge all the time, but they don't follow YouTube blacksmithing. So they just think that I have a little friend who lives in my forge called Roy, and they'll wave to you and say, "Hi, Roy," and things. They just think I've got like a little gnome that lives in my forge that I built a house for. But I decided to keep it there because it's become like a thing now. Yeah. But yeah, this belt buckle thing should be interesting. You don't really get much of a reference in your videos, Roy. How tall are you? Because I'm 6'4", or 6'4.5", if you want to get fancy with it. I'm a tall guy, so most people look like gnomes to me. My wife is 5'2", so seeing us next to each other, she comes to about here on me. It's pretty funny. So if I ever make it to quad state, it'll be interesting to see what we look like standing next to each other. Six one, you're a tall fella. That's not very gnome-like, Roy. So, because this is going to have to be a flint striker, I've started with an old file, and I'm just isolating off the section that's going to be the vertical. Then I'm going to draw this out into a nice taper that's going to loop around, not that big obviously, but loop around and form the brace. And then I'll forge the awl pin and hot forge it around a reduced section of the brace so that it doesn't slide, and that will be the awl across there. And then I'll edge quench the striking face of this and leave the rest of it soft so that it works as a, because you don't want the entire thing to be hardened, because a striker you want to be as hard as possible, which is why file steel, like some file steel, you've all seen my choosing scrap video, but you want it to be as hard as possible, so I'll probably water quench that edge and do the rest of it that way. Let's have a look. There's multiple atoms. Yeah, well, that's true. That was a good series. It was very underrated. I actually really quite liked it. I also liked the new Merlin series. It sort of, I don't know, it lost the plot after season 1, but it was really good for while it lasted. I really liked I've forgotten his name now, Merlin's mentor. I love that actor. He was a British comedian who did a show called One Foot in the Grave on the BBC, which is hilarious. He plays this crotchety old guy, and it used to be one of my favorite shows. I'm just enjoying the temperature being a little bit cooler to be able to forge in the coal forge and not have to schlep it out with the gas forge. I hate gas forges. Sorry, Adam. I'm sorry if that offends you. Hey, Speargrass. And everybody's here. 14 people in my live stream. What have you guys been waiting the whole year that I've had my channel to get my live stream functionality back? It will only be a short one though, guys. I'm on mobile data because I don't have Wi-Fi down here yet, but it's coming. As soon as I get the Wi-Fi, it'll be a regular thing. I might even make it like the same time every weekday, particular weekday, you know, like Sam does it, because Sam's a classy gentleman. Roy, he does a similar thing most of the time. Sometimes I get surprised by a Roy stream. Yamez is pretty much on time all the time. Sam's getting fussy with you. Hit the like button before he explodes. I'm glad to have you here, Roy. Means a lot that you'd pop by on a humble little channel like mine. I'm going to be recording another video in the next couple of days. That's part of my series of Alex, pisses everybody off. It's a rant. Not to step on your territory, Roy, but it is a rant video. If I was smart, this is the point where I'd put my touch mark in. It's going to be fiddly later. If I was smart. I don't know what to call them though. I need you guys to give me suggestions for names, because Roy Rant is just really catchy. I'd look forward to a Roy Rant just because I see, hey, Roy Rant, it's easy to say. Alex Rant is too derivative and doesn't have a nice ring to it. So, I need something else. I was kind of, Alex pisses off everybody, part 1, or part 10 in my case. Oh man, some people got mad at me for that steel selection video, but I stand by everything that I said in that video. I mean, I tried to give equal weight to both the scrap side of things and the known steel side, because there are pros and cons to both. And I still stand by it, but man, some people got uppity about that. Some people are just flat out not talking to me anymore, so... That's alright though, because I am a hermit. Alex laments. Oh yeah? Lament the fact that people keep doing the wrong thing. Valhalla vent. Yeah, I like that. The fury of Odin. Get the old touch mark. She's looking a little bit worn. I've actually, if you ever want to dust the cover off my coffee page, I am actually accepting coffees to slowly save up to get a proper touch mark made. Because what I really want, I live in the tiny little island called Tasmania, which is actually internationally renowned for several things like Tasmanian blackwood, our apple species that we grow here, and tourism is huge here, it's massive. And people worldwide love to buy things when they come here that have a Tasmanian map on them. And I really want to get one that's got basically my logo inside of a silhouette of the island of Tasmania. But custom touch marks are not cheap, especially shapely ones like that. So I am saving up to get a new touch mark, because this one is starting to get a little bit I made this myself. And I recommend everybody starting out to do that because you need to brand your work. Yeah, Valhalla Vent sounds to be it, really. Seems to be pretty popular. Yeah, I agree, Roy. There's a person who goes through and dislikes every video that I put out almost instantly, like within seconds. And I don't think they realize, they may be here, but I don't think they realize that it's giving me metrics when they when they watch my video and then downvote it. It's still helping the channel. So I kind of look forward to them coming by. Got my little Dan Moss style tong clip here. Although I saw Roy's got some really nice like wolf's head ones. Man, they look good. I really like them. Half the tools in my shop are ones that I've sort of made on the rush. You know, it's like, oh, I quickly need this thing. You smash out a really ugly version of it. And then because you run out of time, you just keep using that one over and over again until it breaks because you made it badly and rushed. So I always like it when I actually take the time to make a really nice tool. I recently did that with a straightening jig for shimmed tempers. I was always doing that on the dodgy, and then I made a proper one. It took some time to make a proper one. It's been magnificent. I had a really comically bad incident when I was quenching a Santoku chef knife, which I think I put over in my finishing shop. But I took it out of the forge and put it into the quench, and I got a cramp in my hand, and the tongs released, and it dropped the Santoku into my quench tank, which is an old ammo tin, which you've probably seen in social media and that I have. But what I was just by coincidence, it fell down in, and I'm reaching in with the tongs trying to grab it to pull it out again. And I got a hold of it, but it wouldn't move. And I'm thinking, why isn't this coming up? I thought maybe there's suction of the oil sitting on the bottom of the tank and it won't do it. So I'm trying to do it, and I grabbed it so hard I lifted, and the whole tank lifted up. And I thought, oh, what's going on? So I couldn't stick my hand in there to pull it out, so it was too hot. So I had to wait for it to cool down. And really, you want to be able to put it in, quench it, pull it out, and then correct, just in case there's any warps. And I couldn't get it out. I finally let it cool down, put my hand in there, and I grabbed it, and it just wouldn't move. And I'm thinking, what's happened? This beautiful forged Santoku chef's knife that had so much work in it. I was starting to think, do I just have to live with a quench tank that's got a beautiful Santoku knife in the bottom of it from now on? But I thought, no, if I break it, I break it. You know, it's glass hard at this point. But what had happened is when it had warped in the quench and it fell, it must have like bent and then landed, and it just by coincidence happened to be the exact same length as the diameter of the bottom of my quench tank. So when it locked back into its hardened state, it pressed the tip and the bottom of the tang against either side of the tank and wedged itself at the bottom of my quench tank. What that length. It was just crazy, and I couldn't help but laugh about it. But anyway, it ended up, I got it out through quite a bit of work and spilt oil. And anybody that's had to reach their hand down inside an oil quench tank, it's not a pleasant experience. It feels like you're giving birth to a squid, or helping a squid give birth. I don't know why I would give birth to a squid. Anyway, I finally got it out, and it had an S-bend in it. It wasn't just warped, it was warped this way and then warped that way. My straightening jig fixed it. It's now laser straight. I can't believe it. So sometimes when you take the time to make a nice version of a tool, it's hugely better than the dodgy, you know, quickly made ones. But anyway, I have my quickly made Dan Moss style Tong Rain clip, and it works very, very well. Check out that video on Dan's channel. It's good. And also check out the wolf's head ones that Roy makes. They're really, really pretty. Oh, these little flies. I was talking to the guy that used to live on this farm before I came along, and he said, yeah, these flies just turn up at some point in summer and then they disappear, just sort of overnight. Hey Denise. Sorry if I've missed saying hello to anybody. I'm just glad you're all here on my premiere new live stream. Let's let everybody know it's mine. That'll do it. There we go, look at that. It's a little bit off center because I'm going to be grinding that face back a couple of mil off that to really flush it up. So I wanted to make it slightly off center so that by the time it's actually finished, the touch will be in the middle of it. Which anvil am I using? I am using my Sawyer pattern anvil. This baby is now, this year, 200 years old. 1820 it was made. Can you believe it? Absolutely wonderful. It is a joy to work on. I started grinding the face back and got a certain level into it, and I didn't really want to go much further. I like the dings in it. I mean, I have a pristine new anvil that my drink bottle is currently sitting on for when I need a flat face. Unless I need a flat face, I love working on this thing. There's just so much mass underneath it. It's incredible. And the rebound on it just blows my mind. It's so much nice. It's nicer to use than anything else that I've got. So, yeah, it has a little bit of a hollow sound, but when you've got a nice soft ring like that, you don't necessarily need to wear hearing protection. You probably should. Do as I say, not as I do. But some anvils, when you're working them, you really should have hearing protection on. What, Daniel, were you around in 1820? You guys believe it's 2020? Far out. I hope you have all been caught up on the premiere episode of the ForgeCast for 2020. Everybody in the stream a listener of the ForgeCast. Sam and I just this morning started planning our 1 year special episode. We've got something very special planned, which we're going to keep a secret until close to the time. I really enjoyed the first episode of 2020. It was a real fun one to do. I think it was, you know, we'd taken a break for like 3 weeks, and it was just fun to do it again. Sam and I may be in the same country, but we're a long way away from each other, and it's just nice to catch up. Bit of a planish. Lovely. Alright. Begone, small tongs. Switch to my dodgy flat bar tongs. I actually made these out of a set of drum brake pliers because it already had this end here, and I just cut that off and sort of created a grabber. So now, it's too small even for that. But you can kind of get the idea. They work very well by holding like that. Just testament to if you need something, you need a tool, you can usually fabricable it out of something. Maybe I should do a borax sacrifice. Yeah, Roy, this whole anvil giveaway thing is awesome. It's really, really cool. You definitely don't want me to win one of the giveaways. Shipping an anvil to Tasmania all the way from where are you now? You're not in Ohio anymore, or did you move to Ohio? That's going to be a lot of work, a lot of postage. Alright guys, I'm going to do the polite thing. I'm about to use an angle grinder. I am going to mute this so that you don't have your ears explode. Michigan, that's it. And we're back. See, I am a polite guy sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. I have been having so much fun with that VersaFlow headset. I still have it because I've got more grinding to do before I send it to Sam. I was tempted to actually use it in my forge while I'm forging because it's that much fun and nice to use. However, I finally found a downside to it, other than the price, of course, but I finally found a downside. So you have the helmet here, and there's a tube that goes out to a little backpack that sits in the small of your back, just here. And it has intake vents that are pointing down to try and keep anything that is around here from being sucked up in, minimize it at least. However, if you pass gas while wearing that, it immediately comes out and is sucked up those air vents and pumped directly into your face, cupcaking you in the process. And if you've ever heard the term about as welcome as a fart in a spacesuit, that's what it's talking about. It's not good. Not good at all. So I've gone off wearing it for just a little bit. It was so bad. Right after broccoli night. So you could wear it on your front, I guess, but it's designed to be worn on the back. And whoever designed it, I don't know. I think if the vents were pointing up, it wouldn't be so bad, but then I guess like dust and things would get in there. Yeah, it could have been after taco night. I don't eat tacos very often, thank goodness. So I just wanted to brand it a little bit before I send it on to Sam. Oh man. Well, back when I was in school, we used to do a thing called cupcaking, where you'd fart into your hand and then shove it in someone's face. And so I refer to the VersaFlow cupcakes you. Because it literally it pumps into the back of the helmet at the top and then goes around a curve to hit your face. So it literally is like farting in your own face. PPE, guys. This year I've got a big forge remodel coming. I've already started expanding it out, but you guys are familiar with my circle that I've got, so that everything's one step away. I'm building a second circle with a channel forge in it. It's still crank blown channel forge. The other large anvil that I got, the one that's missing its heel, not its horn, but its heel. And new tool racking. A treadle hammer has actually been in the works for quite a while, or a trip hammer, some people will call it. Sam, I don't blame it. You rude individual. Woo, spicy. So basically drawing this out, going to thin it, create the brace. I'll thin a section in there using the guillotine tool that Sam and I developed, which Sam is still selling. You should definitely contact him if you want one. I'm actually hammering a 200-year-old Sawyer's anvil, Bob. I just hit hard. See, I'm in the same camp as Roy. I don't use a bigger hammer than I need to. Because if your technique is good and correct, you can use a hammer like this, which is about 1.8 pounds, and get a heck of a lot of work done. I do have, that being said, when I need to do bigger work, I have this 2.3 pound turning hammer by Dan Moss, which is gorgeous. It is, oh, it's just an absolute delight to use. And when I'm working bigger billets, this is definitely my go-to. So, g'day Curiosity. And I couldn't be talking about my hammers without, of course, mentioning the beautiful dog's head that Sam Towns made me. Complete with my touch mark in the back, which he graved in. Love it. No matter how big the knife is that I'm making, it still comes out. Where to put my tongs? There they are. Well, thank you all so much for showing up to my premiere stream now that I'm back in the biz. I only ever joined YouTube to do live streams, and then I had to, the new rule came out and I had to start putting out video content. I am still going to be putting out video content, but working as a full-time blacksmith, I don't always have time to do videos. So live streams are a lot easier to do when I'm just working. So very, very grateful for you all to show up. I will edit the video eventually to have all the appropriate links, but if you're not already following me on Facebook and Instagram, definitely do that. If you're not subscribed for some reason and yet are watching this live stream, then definitely subscribe. And check me out on Patreon. I'm offering some pretty cool stuff on there, helping you out with pro tips and things. It's sort of like personalized ForgeCast, really, and also project ideas and tutorials and pro tips and things. And my background is in business management and marketing, so I also give a lot of tips and tricks for promoting your business, making you be able to do it full-time like I do. So definitely jump on there if you're thinking of supporting someone. I would love to see you on there. But yeah, I am going to wrap it up because I am on mobile data at the moment, not on Wi-Fi, but soon I will have the new Wi-Fi extender one way or the other, and I'll be able to, yes, Sean is on there. Sean was the first person on there. Actually, no. I think it was Sam. No, actually, no. Sean even beat Sam Towns. That's how epic Sean is. He even joined my Patreon before Sam Towns. That says a lot. So, yeah, I will wrap this up, though, because I'll be eating up all of my data, and I still need to, you know, post all my Instagram selfies while I'm out and about. So I've got to keep some of it free. I will see everybody later. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will be doing more live streams in the very near future. So I'll catch all you guys later. And pardon me while I figure out how to turn this off. See you guys.